Hello survivors, and welcome to our Xbox community livestream. I'm Tim, I'm the DayZ community manager, and with me here are our brand manager, Martin Tulak.
Hello.
And my fellow community manager, Buddy.
Hello.
Today we will play a round of DayZ on a public random server, and we'll answer your question from the chat.
Yep.
So get typing and send us your questions. The end of March marked our release from Xbox, and the release of the version 1.01. And we are coming towards the next update, and we want to hear your feedback on it, and we will answer your questions.
Yes.
I want to apologize right at the beginning because we have only 1 hour for the stream, so we will not answer questions twice. We will go through as many questions as possible. If your question has already been answered when you join the stream later, you can watch the VOD, which will be public on this Mixer channel right afterwards, and we will also publish it on YouTube later on. So we hope to answer as many questions as possible. Let's get right to it.
Yep.
So our guys are joining one public server right now.
Yeah. I just need to reconnect here really quickly, so Buddy, wait for me a little bit.
Okay.
Scouted for zombies. I mean, infected. Sorry, Tim. Always get it wrong.
All right.
I see Minder in the chat. Hello, dude. How are you?
Hi, Minder.
Hey, Minder. Thank you for help in the chat.
So what are we gonna be doing, Buddy, today?
I want to go to the DayZ military base.
Okay.
Me probably
yeah,
going to die there.
Yeah.
We will see.
Okay, but you need to help me with the server here. Just point to which one I should.
There's one.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh, I can hear some animals.
I know that I know that I need some rugs and a
neither.
backpack because I can't store my stuff.
I have only one.
Okay, I am in.
Okay.
Hello.
So careful. I don't want to die.
Oh yeah.
On the beginning.
So like when we were testing the setup right before the stream started, we were kind of like, so no worries, no stress, kind of just like running around, and we made the most typical mistake, I guess. I think one of us fired a gun.
Yeah, it was me.
And we almost we spent our the time before the stream just loading up our characters, and right before the stream was about to start, we almost completely ruined it. My jacket, my tactical shirt is still kind of screwed up.
Yeah, you're gonna loot something new on DayZ.
All right, we have a first question from ShadowCon.
Uh-huh.
It involves two topics. The first is the duplication glitch, and he's asking if the duplication issues are the reason why players currently have trouble to find assault rifles on servers.
Uh-huh. So for the duping, for the next update for 102, we have kind of a hotfix that should prevent some of the most annoying duping, let's say. And the hotfix is basically that until we find a more final solution for the duping, we will just force people to stay on the server when disconnecting for the 15 seconds. 15 or 20, I'm not sure how
15
much it is
for
now.
now.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that we're gonna introduce with 102. And what was the other part of the question?
The other part is that players currently report trouble finding assault rifles,
Yes.
and if that is caused by
Yes.
duplication.
Yeah, that's definitely connected because unfortunately the way the economy is set up right now is there's obviously a limited amount of things that spawn on the server, and if people just dupe stuff is ruining the economy a little bit. So that's definitely connected, and should hopefully be already better after we introduce this hotfix in 102.
Yes, our devs teams are doing constant changes to the economy and try to adapt to the current situation on the servers.
So one of the things that we introduced with 101 was the character locks. Unfortunately, this backfired a little bit again, so we're still trying to tweak that solution also for duping of loot. And so there's like there's multiple fronts in which we're actually trying to combat the issue. So it's definitely very important for us. So I know a lot of people just want us just kind of like say like, yeah, just lock characters down to one server. Yeah, that could probably solve the issue, but it's not really like a solution of the underlying problem. So we still need to find a solution anyway.
All right. Flemo 1874 asks, why can't you lean without a weapon in hand? You do a dodge move instead.
That's simply a matter of control scheme. If there was a way how our designers could basically allow you to do both, we would do it. Right now it's set in a way so that it's dependent on the context of which you're trying to do the user action. And so when you have your gun raised, I guess that's how it has to be set within the context, unfortunately.
Okay. Smoking Smile 21 asks, when will random char wipes be fixed, but just connected to the login issues that we are currently experiencing?
Random character wipes. Of course, that will be fixed when we manage to fix the issue itself. Right now, our devs we have I think one programmer, Alish, really dedicated to the issue, just going through the possible causes. I think we are a little bit closer now to identifying what's causing it, but of course, the random character rollbacks or losing the player inventory, yeah, that's gonna be fully fixed only when we manage to fix the underlying issue, of course.
Okay. And currently we are experiencing that some players have rollbacks of their characters, that they get reset to a prior stage.
Mm-hmm.
What is that caused by?
Yeah, that's exactly the same issue. It's just a new way of us trying to combat the problem. So instead of just wiping everybody, we roll back their inventories into a state that was previously functional before the issue happened to the inventory. Because everything is connected with how our database saves the player characters' inventories.
Okay. A lot of problems that are currently caused by players, as Makaka asks, are connected to server hopping, and that causes duping, that causes ghosting, and he's asking if we are considering locking characters to servers.
I don't think we are currently, like I said, I don't think that's a solution of the underlying problem of duping or server hopping. So right now I think we do not want to completely block player characters to just one server exclusively, because there is still I do see a gameplay advantage in allowing people to switch between servers. If just for trying to play with other players in the game, because that would basically just lock you down to your community on one server. There can be advantages and disadvantages to this, but I think currently as it is, we don't want to completely separate people in this kind of way.
Yes, we are currently working on a solution, but for now we don't want to lock people, especially to the servers. That's true.
We don't want that backpack, Martin.
You need one.
Okay.
For complete equipment, you need
It's
a
not your
backpack.
favorite, I think, but
All right. The infamous Meatball Exploit. Ash the Moo asks about it.
Yeah, this issue is getting a little bit out of hand.
It already went with the last patches, yeah.
I will admit that. Bati, where are you actually?
I'm just in a small shed.
Okay. Yeah, so this has been causing a lot of headaches to us. It's an issue in the animation system. So we need to work with our animation programmer to really pinpoint what exactly is causing it. I don't think we have any more detailed update on it right now. We're just trying to find out what we can realistically do with it. For some reason, it's happening more often on to Xbox players than to PC players. It's not something that's like platform exclusive, so to speak. But I guess with the way how controls work on Xbox, it's more problematic on Xbox.
Yes. Okay, Courage. Yeah, Courage asked the question that is probably on the minds of everyone because it's a massive factor for the DayZ experience. The private servers, and when will they be coming to Xbox One?
Yes. So it's something that's also important to us because we know how one of the reasons why people play DayZ on PC is that they can have their kind of own unique experience in DayZ. They can set up the server in a way they want, modify the central economy, and change the spawning locations and things like this. So it's really important for us to have that also available on Xbox. Unfortunately, it's not as straightforward because it doesn't just take negotiating with a server company and letting people run the servers. There's also some changes that need to be done directly in the game. We need to offer some way to manage the servers directly from within the game. There probably also needs to be some store app that is used for managing the servers directly from Xbox or from your PC Windows app. So these are some of the things that we still need to resolve before we can provide private servers on Xbox. That said, it's really important to us, and we're doing everything we can to make sure it happens. So as soon as we find a decent partner, a decent server providing company that we can work with, and then we can negotiate all the setup and technical details with, we're gonna be good and ready to provide private service on Xbox.
All right. Awakened Wolf asks or makes a statement about content. We need guns. So, what about new weapons that we will see in the game and when?
So I think even with 102 we already have I think a couple of new guns coming. Yes. Can you remind me which are them actually?
The 308 caliber weapons.
Oh yes. So we have I don't remember the in-game names right now.
The M70 Tundra.
Yes.
And the LAR.
Yes. Oh, and I think that's gonna be an amazing addition because it's a very powerful rifle, automatic rifle, that can work with many attachments. So that's gonna be a cool addition to the game. And yes, with each update, we definitely want to expand on the content of the game. So not just new guns, but also trying to increase the variety of vehicles available, and so on.
Do you need more racks?
I got 2, 3 right now. Should be fine, hopefully. 1,
Your
yeah,
jacket
3.
looks kind of ruined.
Yeah, it is. A
you
sewing
need
kit
one.
would be nice.
I don't know if that will help.
Oh, I think it's just badly damaged.
Yeah, it can still be fixed.
All right. Dr. Shed asks about push to talk. It was in earlier patches possible to have it as a toggle, and we removed that, and
Yes.
he asks if it comes back.
Trust me, I know how much it sucks that you cannot toggle the push to talk. But the thing is, since we're supporting party chat and how our voice chat kind of works, it would basically having the toggle available was causing problems when you suddenly had the voice chat toggle but wanted to switch to a party chat, and that was causing the game to freeze and crash. And so we need to find a solution like how to manage this switch. If we find out that it's possible, we're gonna reintroduce the toggle to voice chat. Unfortunately, until then, we just have to push to talk.
I'm crafting a better backpack for you.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
I need more sticks.
Credinta asks another content question. Will you introduce bears, so another type of predator to the game?
We've had it, and we definitely have it in our backlog. it was a feature that we wanted to introduce into DayZ. I think bear was one of the new predators, but I don't think we have like a definite schedule or where we want to introduce this. So somewhere along the way it can happen, but no promises right now, I guess.
Okay. Where are you guys heading actually right now?
We should go to Tizzy to
Mhm.
have like get some.
We are
more
near.
stuff.
We are near
Okay.
a lake. Here you are.
Yeah. I need to find a way how to sit comfortably here. No, I don't want this backpack. Damn it, you dummy.
Okay, Fall Gymnast asks about status reports. When do we already have a schedule if we want to have the next status report?
Yeah. So, I think in the past, we've been kind of infamous for, you know, teasing people with, you know, like things a little bit ahead of time. Many times this, of course, backfired. So we're very careful. We are very careful right now with teasing new things. I think we've kind of established a pretty decent timeline for delivering new updates, and the way how we want to communicate further is only before the update is actually about to come. We want to tease like new information about it. So whenever we have a decent internally log build of a game that we can talk about, we want to publish content about the update on DayZ website and all DayZ social channels. Usually this is this should be happening like in a time frame of 2 weeks before a release is about to happen. So yes, it means that we are gonna be communicating and writing status reports less frequently, I would say, but that basically means that we can just provide like really reliable information, and we're not gonna tease something that's gonna backfire and not gonna happen in the update.
Okay. Awakened Wolf asked the question that's probably on the mind of most Xbox players. The next Xbox update, when is it and what's going to be in it? Can we say anything about that? Probably about the contents more than about an exact date.
Yes, I'm just gonna try to not die in here.
Oh yeah, be careful. I'll get back to the question when you...
I think we have already teased that there's gonna be the 308 caliber weapons coming.
Yes.
Who are you?
I am running away from a zombie. And I think my gun is jammed.
You are only friend I have here. I don't want to be alone.
Yeah, it's right behind me. Get him.
Do you have melee weapon?
It's that.
So I don't have my quick slots ready, you know?
Okay. Not prepared for the journey.
Yeah.
Oh, and run. Oh my god.
Okay, can we get back to the question or
Yes, we can.
the when for the update?
When? I think we also already mentioned this. I think right now the guys in our Bratislava studio are going through final preparations to submit the build to Xbox, and that would put us basically having the update out before the end of the month. So 102 hopefully by the end of the month.
Okay. Zombiefly and Moy the Beast asked both about character creation and customization. Do we have already...
I'm sorry, come again?
Character creation and customization.
So I know our designers are working on it. I'm not sure when is this feature coming right now. So I know it's important, but right now it just needs like some user interface design and things like this. So I don't honestly know when that's coming, but it's definitely gonna arrive at some point, I think. I don't have a knife.
Okay.
I know where it is. In the
You
red
dropped
barn.
it?
Yeah, you dropped it. Do you need mine? I can. both of you.
Okay, and yeah, content for the next update. We get asked about the new vehicle that's coming.
Uh-huh.
You already want to tell what it is? I mean, PC players know it.
Yeah. So,
Are you running back to
where's the
bar?
red barn?
That way. Like, come with me. I don't want to run because of water.
The new vehicle.
So the new vehicle coming with 102 is like a huge, massive, sort of executive Russian car. It is the Olga 42. It's a sedan. It can fit 4 people, I think, and you don't need to move the seats actually, so it's easier to get in, and it's really fast. It's like really, really, really freaking fast.
Already broke my neck with that one.
Yeah, so you gotta be careful with driving this thing. And so that's coming with the 102 update.
I think it's next to your pants, or like next to pants on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there.
There we go.
Got it.
Okay, I was reading a few questions here about broken limbs in general, legs and other body parts.
Uh-huh.
It was part of the previous updates on PC, and we want to reintroduce it.
Again, I'm not sure when exactly we can expect this to be back, or in what form, because it's probably gonna be changed due to the implementation that was on the older builds of the game. But I know that if not with the 103 update, then with the one coming after that, the designers would love to focus. I mean, DayZ is a survival game, and right now I think we can do better. We can go more in depth with some of the systems, especially with how health is working in general. So I think our game designers will definitely want to revisit this, rebalance many things, and hopefully introduce some new options. So I'm not sure with which updates specifically, but when are the upcoming 103, 104 updates, we should be slowly seeing to go more in depth, basically with the survival mechanics and the health system.
All right. This one's a good name. Ed Hooligan asked about wipes with the next update and beyond that. How are we going to do character wipes and server wipes? Because of course it affects
I
players.
still remember how Minder was joking about the wipes in the chat on the last live stream. For some reason, it came across as very funny to him that we were saying the word wipes so many times. But no, back to the topic. Yeah, I think we mentioned this with the update notes and patch notes and everything. Right now, we're really only gonna do global wipes, so that means wiping everybody and server persistence. Really only when it's absolutely necessary for the update. So it's something that we're probably gonna identify like very close to actually publishing the update. And we're gonna do our best to always announce it, but it just shouldn't be happening very often. So not even like with each, hopefully not even with like each major update, only when really like absolutely necessary.
Yeah. And when we do it, then it's necessary to avoid major issues with the game resulting from leftover items.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or
So-
when we just see corrupt inventories of players or something like that causing problems with the new update.
Okay. Smoking Smile and Noct's Extra Plane ask both about the lag and FPS drops when attacked by infected, causing often players' deaths.
Mm-hmm. I guess it all depends on if that's specifically a question for consoles. I think it very much depends.
It is mostly a question for consoles.
Yeah. So I think it also depends on which console you're running. I think right now we're doing a little bit better on the One X. And I'm not sure if it's just related to attacking the infected. I guess it has more to do with things like being in a town, or at least that's how we mostly experience it. If you have any specific issue where you see like the performance really going down, where you're just around and fighting with the infected, it's probably best if you just report this issue to us, and our teams can take a look at that. That said, our programmers are still going through optimizations of the game code. We were discussing the option to somehow tweak the graphical settings a little bit more so that we can maybe squeeze out some more frames out of the game. But honestly, I think our programmers tried that. It was not really the thing that would like very obviously.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's yours. Take it.
Is there anything inside?
Yeah.
A tape. Okay.
This is my favorite backpack.
Wait, I dropped my MP5 into. Yeah, drop. Whip. Now that's a good backpack.
Mm. You don't like.
Okay, what is
from
this?
the-
Sweater.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna tear it into racks.
I have a lot of rags if you.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need to bump my tearing soft skill.
You good for the next question?
Yeah.
Windy Starkiller asks about the fact that they are currently pretty strong, and you've already had your trouble with it. Do we plan further changes to make the fighting a bit more balanced and fun?
I know it's personally, I know it's kind of tough right now. Personally, I'm happy with it because I always kind of take the infected as something to avoid rather than fight with. And I think with the upcoming update, we're also introducing some kind of like little stealth features that help you kind of sneak around the infected. I think we have the new sound indicator. So that should help you, and I think the infected also react to sound a little bit differently in 102. So that should be interesting. I'm not sure if I'm not sure what our game designers currently think about the setting of like how hard the infected are to work with, but we're definitely gonna discuss it, I guess, because we've seen it mentioned a couple of times. I know Batsu would like to tone them down a little bit. So, yeah, we'll see.
I think the current 1.02 on PC has already critical hits against infected and will be part of the next update.
Yes, that's one of the things that actually not force you, but kind of help you to go.
Here is a new jacket if you are interested.
That kind of help you to. What's this? Ooh. No, I just want to fix my tactical jacket.
Okay.
Alright, let's run. I think we're slow. So
I don't want to run
No.
because of water, you know.
Ah, okay.
Worry of your hydration.
How am I doing actually? I need to eat. I don't see my stats.
Oh yeah, we have a computer there.
Let's have a potato.
You wanted to talk about the critical hits with infected?
Yeah, so that's one of the things added to support the kind of stealthy gameplay with the infected. So now basically when you sneak from behind with a melee weapon, you can basically one-hit the infected from that direction. So it's kind of encouraging you just sneaking behind them rather than like going frontal.
Yes. And the fighting will be also more important where you hit them, because headshots will be more effective, and that will balance the fighting towards the skilled players. And if you still hit the legs, you will be in trouble.
Yeah.
Alright. We have had questions about the ragdoll implementation. When will ragdoll return to the game?
Trust me, it's something that everybody in the DayZ team wants to see, but it's just insanely complicated in our situations. There's a lot of scenarios where the server game synchronization can go wrong. It's additional load on the server performance. So I don't think in a near future we will be able to introduce a proper ragdoll physics or for player death animations.
Okay. Short Stuff SR asks about illnesses and diseases, probably also including poisoning. So can we talk about those systems a bit? A part of it is implemented, a part of it is still to come.
More ranks. Yeah, like I said, with one of the upcoming updates, the game designers definitely want to look into the general balance of these things, general the survival mechanics. I don't think I want to talk about the details or spoil them. I don't know most of them anyway. So
I think the most important part is that elements such like reckless behavior, such as eating raw food and so on, get punished again.
yes,
That we expand on the current disease system.
Mhm.
And yep, that's going to be
yeah,
a huge focus in
that's
the
one of
future.
the things most obviously missing out right now. So
Oh, I
Ooh,
can
wolves,
hear
wolves, 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 wolves.
yeah.
Get your guns out.
There is one.
Well, that would require me to have ammo for the gun, actually.
Just reload. Do you have?
I don't have any ammo.
Oh. I can save you, maybe.
Do you see them?
Yeah, I see one. He's fighting with something. Probably with the infected.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna check one of the hangars, and there should be some 9mm ammo, hopefully.
Oh, I have some. I can
You
give
do?
you, but
Oh, okay. I need ammo.
Okay.
Probably not safe around here though.
Yeah.
Let's go to the containers.
Okay. Another performance issue appears for players when they are getting closer to bases, when the bases get loaded. Do we already plan something to do against that? Because it's an issue on both Xbox and PC.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't.
When you get closer to bases, the loading time that is created, which causes stuttering for cars and other players.
You have all the tough questions, Tim.
The chat has all the tough questions. I mean, I know it's being looked into how we can improve the loading times, and yep, our team will look into it because it's a serious issue. But at the same time, we have bases and they need to be loaded gracefully and not pop into existence suddenly, which just causes massive problems for players and can be exploited. So yeah, we are looking into that.
Thank you, Tim.
we have a lot of wolves on the way.
What does it mean, a lot?
Like, it's really far away and my screen is small.
Okay, I have 9 bullets. 9 bullets.
Okay, let's go around.
Oh, did I hear gunshots?
Yeah. Maybe. Not sure right now.
Oh, that's what happens in DayZ.
Yeah.
Okay, combine. Yeah, 9 bullets.
What's going on there? Oh, the
No,
wolves
no,
are
no,
fighting
don't
with
go
the
there.
infected.
Let's go around.
That's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is, but don't go
Oops.
too close.
My stomach is grumbling. Hold on.
Okay.
You don't want to get the aggro of the entire park there.
No.
Tactical shirt.
Oh,
Cool.
it's a
cool,
new
cool,
one, you
Cool,
can
cool,
take it.
cool. I would prefer the black one, but alas. Oh, it's also ruined. Damn it.
No, it's
Is
damaged.
it?
It's damaged. It's not ruined.
Okay, let me take my stuff. And eat. Where's my potato? Anything else I can answer meanwhile?
Okay. Dr. Chopper Boy asks about new cities, and I've also seen another question about map expansion. So, do we have anything to talk about there? Changes to the map in the future?
Yeah, honestly, I think Generous has developed quite a lot since it was introduced in Arma 2, and especially the DayZ version is already very different. So I don't think we will be introducing any new major towns or like major town overhauls. I know Adam still likes to like tinker and tweak stuff here and there, but I don't think any major overhauls are planned for Chernarus. And I think we've already expanded the map several times during DayZ development. So I think we're gonna just polish some things and like do little nice tweaks and touches, but not gonna expand it or introduce any like major new towns or anything like that.
Okay.
That's also one of the reasons why on our store we've updated the printed map. I've seen a lot of people actually getting that. Oh, boop, infected. Did I drop it? No.
You don't want to lose your weapon inside.
What?
We need to get into the barracks or for more ammo.
Don't go there. Oh, it's still near wolves.
Yeah, I can hear them.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are. How can we?
There's more building to loot.
Okay, I'll just follow you.
Yeah. I'm very scared by wolves. I died too many times.
But yeah, back to the topic of the map. I think we've closed the main structure of the map. Don't want to change it too much right now. Hard to say. Adam always gets excited about new ideas, but I think even he himself kind of wants to just add more polish into the map and do improvements here and there, but no major changes or overhauls.
Okay. I like that we are getting so many questions on the infected. Bygone Attic asks, will infected be able to open doors in the future? Because right now the dominant strategy is to lock them indoors or hide inside doors to heal yourself up.
I honestly don't know if we have anything like this specifically planned for one of the updates. Probably not at this point. I know we have the data for it. We have animations for infected kicking out doors and things like these. So I think it's something that the game design team would want to explore, but I guess it will require like some animation work and yeah, it's basically a very expensive implementation, as we say internally. So we'll see if we introduce it. Probably not anytime soon.
Yeah. I was talking with Peter about it the other day, and it's actually two parts that are critical about the situation. On the one hand, it's that players that infected cannot break through doors. So when they are locked in, when the player has locked himself in, that infected can't get in. But also a situation which players actively abuse to lock the infected in, that they run into the house and then pass around the infected to get outside again and lock the door, which is also an issue that we try to fix, that infected aim more towards the player, that the player can't as easily run around them as he currently do. And even those slight movement changes can be big deal breakers for the game and make the infected a way bigger threat.
Yeah. So it's also like a very tough design question, basically.
Design
not just,
AI.
not just implementation.
Yes.
Okay. Was there an axe somewhere?
I
think
found
walked
just
past
a
one.
hammer. Why do you need axe?
Well, I don't have any. Like, I only have a knife.
I think it's the best melee weapon against
I know we didn't want to ask
infected.
to answer questions twice, but Minder is asking again about the hotfix for the rollbacks on Xbox. The rollbacks are currently the hotfix to restore characters which have been corrupted to a previous state without completely deleting them. So that's currently the hotfix.
Yeah.
I know it's definitely not ideal. We know that. And
But it's much better than just getting constantly full wipes of your character.
Yes.
So many ropes. What the fuck
Yeah,
is here?
I saw that. That's weird.
You're okay there? Yeah, you are. Okay. Now let's get down into the base. I really need some like military stuff.
Okay.
Damn, I haven't been to Tizzy for long. I completely don't know where I am right now.
Lost me.
Ah, I see a barrack. Okay.
Where are you going? Okay. I see you.
My stomach is grumbling again.
Oh, that's a very general question from
Oh,
Retro
shitty.
Game Geek.
Yeah.
Are we an indie company? Is
Yes.
Bohemia Interactive an indie company?
Yes, Bohemia is. We are a large indie company. Currently have, I think, 400 people across multiple projects. But we are not owned by any publisher or by any investor or anything like this. We are completely privately owned, so that makes us an independent developer.
I'm gonna give you some food.
I have food actually.
Okay.
I just forgot to eat.
Do you need something more?
Death by
I'm good.
Karma is asking, is zombie versus melee, so practically melee attacks against infected, if that's going to get a rework? He is standing still, but the infected are very jumpy.
I honestly don't know. Is there anything we're
We are currently doing some fixes, for example, that with 101, the infected used to glitch inside the player character. That's been
Yeah,
fixed.
that's pretty.
And so we are trying to make everything a bit more stable, that the infected stay in their position. It's also a lot of AI rework, of course. So while it's not going to be a complete rework, we are trying to fix the existing issues. Naked Bio also on melee will be more accurate and focused on headshots. As we also said, it's going to. We don't plan to revamp the entire melee system again. It's going to be.
Yeah, because we've already. I think we're already doing much better than we've had on the legacy versions of the game, which you guys on Xbox, you obviously don't even know these builds because they were only on PC back then. But yeah.
Yeah, so in general, we want to fix the existing issues, as I already said, and make sure that combat is as fluent as possible and less interrupted by bugs and issues.
You don't need it. Do you
Well,
need it?
You want to go for base building? or what?
Yeah,
I mean,
are we going to?
I have a tent on a different server.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm not gonna carry it over here. It's too big. It's not that easy to find.
Okay, Lumbicus asks, since launch on Xbox, so 101, various UI icons have been missing, such as the 9-volt battery and some ammunition. Will those be looked at? Yes, those are pretty standard bugs. Report them to our feedback tracker at feedback.bestudio.com. Yes, it happened. And it will be fixed.
Let's go up.
Yeah.
To the ramps because
Where are you
we can
actually?
find
Okay,
some vests there. I think.
Naked Bio, will face hitboxes be back? I talked to our designer
Yeah.
this morning, and there have never been any face hitboxes.
There is a guy.
Player.
There is a guy. What should I do?
Hide
Oh my god.
I will come back to that.
Hide?
and talk to them
We-
because I don't have a microphone.
Okay, I can
If
talk.
if he sees us, just talk to him because I don't have a microphone or bullets.
Really.
Is
so
he
we need-
friendly?
We need to talk our way out of this.
I don't want to kill him.
No,
But I'm scared.
I mean you don't talk to people in Tizzy, I guess, but
Yeah, like,
I don't know.
where is he?
He probably
Bullets.
went up. No.
Do you really want to go to talk to him?
I don't know. Shoot or talk? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty geared. I have only 9 mil. It's gonna take a couple of rounds to take him down. I don't see them though. That's the most. Okay, I'm gonna try to go on top of the other platform to have a higher ground.
Oh my god. Oh,
I hear.
infected.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going for it. Are there any towards you?
Him.
You okay? You good?
Yeah, fine. Without a player.
I don't. He's not on the platform. I don't see him
The
up
first
there.
one.
Yeah, he's not there.
Where are you? Oh, it's you. Okay.
And he's not on the other one either.
Okay. Maybe he was.
I mean, I didn't
scared.
check inside a little like thing in here, but oh, High Cup West. No, he's not here.
My screen is so small. I cannot see.
Pixel hunting.
Use
Yeah.
binoculars.
We need to get a TV in here.
Hello? Hello? No? It's not here, probably. Okay. He's not here.
Are you relaxed again, or heart still
It's hard to
pumping?
say.
I hear an infected.
Oh, but...
Huh?
It's not, like... It's not like me, so...
Huh? Well, I mean, he has to be around here somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and check out the third ramp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will answer another question. Silent asks, why do we have a butt pouch but no vest? That's going to be solved with the next update, where we introduce the assault vest fitting to the assault backpack.
Hello?
Jesus, you scared me now. It's like it came with a delay in the game.
I'm trying to talk. I'm friendly, you know? I have a weapon in my hands, but still.
What's this?
Be careful.
M60 American jacket. No, I don't see him anywhere.
Okay. He was probably scared as we are. Oh.
Did you shit your pants? They look very rude.
I need to find some new. Okay, so let's continue
Yeah.
to tents. Oh my god.
I don't know.
The feeling when you meet a player, it's always like this. Like, oh my god, what we are going to do. Okay, Tim, we can continue. I
Okay.
think we are safe, maybe.
Yeah, hold on, there's an infected looking right at us, so
Yeah.
shouldn't aggro it.
It's late. But I can
Okay,
kill it.
GTA 555 asks, how long until we can expect mouse and keyboard implementation? It had been promised a while ago.
Mouse and keyboard. So this is also waiting for some in-game changes, mostly in how we handle UI and like pairing players with different input methods. So we're still kind of figuring out how to do this most effectively, not split the player base too much. I guess ideally we would like to get this with crossplay with PC, but currently I don't think we have it confirmed that we will be able to fully support crossplay, so we'll see about that. I know it's not coming with the 103 update or the 102 update, so it's still gonna take some time. And yeah, like I said, basically the most important thing for us to resolve is to have the UI like support the feature and being able to just identify and switch between the different input methods and just matching players with the same input methods together on a server. ideally without like splitting the player base too much.
Yes, it's important that we don't give mouse and keyboard players an advantage, that we
Yep.
but still offer them like all
Yep.
a place to play.
And also, if we just like, I think it's a pretty popular feature on Xbox. So I can imagine that many people would just want to play with the mouse and keyboard. So it would kind of split the player base a little bit. So I think we want to avoid it as much as possible. The ideal way to support this, of course, would be to have Xbox PC crossplay, but we cannot confirm this at the moment. So we'll see. We'll see where we go with that.
Okay. Simple question. What engine does DayZ use?
So DayZ is using, it's basically a combination of two engines, honestly, but it's mostly using modules of our new Bohemia and Fusion engine. That's basically what was happening with the game on PC in early access. We've been developing an engine alongside with the game itself. So yes, it is our own engine. It allows us to do lots of cool things, like run a complex game such as DayZ on all various kinds of different devices while getting decent performance. It's a fully multi-platform engine. That's the first for us at Bohemia, and we still keep working on it and improving it. It's been 5 years in development, but there's still a lot to do, especially in terms of tools for our developers. That would basically help us also make the development process a little bit smoother, and so on and so on. So it's still kind of a struggle. The engine is still rather new, but yeah, it allows us to do a lot of cool things as well that we just wouldn't be able to support fully in any like readily available engines out there.
Okay, that's more of an open question. By guess, what's the biggest thing you are looking forward to the future of DayZ? I think I would give that question to both of you, Buddy.
I'm sorry. I was like I was scared by Martin.
It's fine. What's the thing in DayZ you're most looking forward to? Feature, content?
Like yeah, like more survival things like broken legs, and more infection when you eat something raw, and things like this.
Martin, what do you think?
Tough question. What I would really, it's actually what I would really like to see coming back to DayZ is obviously the support for bows and arrows. I think that's also something that lots of people are excited about. I know it's probably gonna take quite a bit of development time still, but whenever that's in, and I can just create my own weapon from sticks and ropes and rags, that would be and chicken bones. I think that was one of my favorite features in DayZ, making arrows out of chicken bones.
And notes.
Yes, that would
on
also
paper,
Like this has been a really amazing feature.
I'm a role player, so I prefer more a role player things.
Same.
And also, there's another thing. There's already a lot of various items in the world, but yeah, I would like to see some more crazy stuff that supports like a little bit crazier role play. Some new assets maybe after a while that keep the game fresh a little bit. So we'll see. I know Peter had some very cool ideas, but yeah, we still have so much stuff to go through. We have a huge backlog of things, so we'll see where that goes.
Indeed. Just to add to that, my personal opinion, I think it took a long time to realize, but I think what I like most about DayZ is nearly dying. That there's always something that goes wrong,
Yeah.
and that sends you back to the abyss, and you are crawling for your life with
Yeah.
broken legs.
That-
You get a new disease,
Yeah.
and you just try to find the cure, and you feel like you're not going to make it. You feel maybe already frustrated because you know you are going to die because of this,
Yeah.
and then suddenly something comes around, a helpful player, you find the right item that you are searching for in this massive loot economy,
Or you
and-
just died. That's
or you
life.
just die. That's life, yeah. But it's the moments where it turns around suddenly, when the unexpected happens.
Yeah.
And we need more threats in the environment, and also more players with diverse playstyle, not
Oh,
only
yeah.
kill on sight.
And that's also a thing about DayZ. It's DayZ is kind of what you put into it is what you get back from it. So you know, if you really make it cool for yourself, and then the game adds things like this kind of crawling or just fighting for the last remaining bits of your health. Things like fighting the color, or like almost dying, or just. I even like honestly back in the day, as you were describing it, I know it was annoying, but the fact when you had your legs broken and you just couldn't do anything about it, and you were in the middle of nowhere and just had to crawl even for like 30 minutes. Yeah, it's like tedious as hell, but it makes for some of the most memorable moments, I guess.
Where are you?
Near the watchtower.
Okay, Naked Bio has another balancing question. For, in his opinion, I personally agree with that, DayZ is too fast and unrealistic, if that is going to change.
Phew.
He's probably more a
Fast.
fan of a of a slow-paced, very simulator playstyle,
Mhm.
which is also a fact that DayZ accommodated for quite a while. So, what's the stance on that in terms of balancing?
I guess that's very tricky. I still personally find the movement in DayZ and everything still being pretty. I'll admit I'm a very casual casual player, but I don't know. I already do find it quite challenging, and it's still you have control over your player and everything. So that's kind of, I guess, the feeling like being fast and stuff like this. But I don't know. I don't know what our game designers think about this. I think DayZ is in a pretty good spot with like how you can be precise with the controls, but it's also kind of slower. And I don't know. I'm happy with where DayZ is right now in this regard. I don't know. How about you, Tim? I think you said you kind of support that. But
I support authentic gameplay that's fun. On the one hand, and I have to agree with you, when the new character controller came, it first felt like, what is this? This is not DayZ. Because DayZ is, you're used to be a bit clunky in DayZ.
Yeah.
You have like some weird weapon sway that would not really appear if you had your weapon holded properly, like our character do.
Ouch, that was me.
And
Sorry.
but we have way more control now, and it took me some time to get used to it, to have a character that you
Yeah.
can actually very well control,
Yeah.
which feels strange,
And it's like
but
really
it
like,
should be that way.
especially with the it's like really very responsive. I mean,
And
Yeah.
but the term realistic is sometimes too much realism can
Yeah.
poison a game.
and like DayZ is not meant to be a realistic game. It's meant to be an authentic game.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not supposed to limit you too much. It's supposed to make you feel like you're in there without necessarily like limiting you intentionally or something like this. So,
To create a real challenge.
yeah.
But at the same time, it needs to be open for new players and accessible.
Yeah.
And that's a balance our designers are trying to make.
Yeah.
We want people to die in DayZ, but
Yes.
at the same time, we don't want it to be a completely frustrating experience that's hostile to learning.
Yeah, and I think honestly, when you're a completely new player, like DayZ is not taking you by the hand by any means.
Nope.
You just jump in. You see that your like health is, your health icon or your hydration icon is flashing at you. So this is the only one that kind of like forces you to do something when you first spawn in the game. But other than that, DayZ is not really giving you anything. You just have to figure everything out by yourself, and I think that's honestly already quite tough. If you add a layer of more complicated or even more complex controls or anything like this, yeah, it would get very kind of beyond the edge of what's still acceptable, I guess. But yeah, that's just how I see it, honestly.
Okay. We have 1 hour of stream over, and you all are still alive.
Yep.
Yeah.
How did you even manage that? You encountered wolves, infected, and players.
Okay.
Okay. Good.
We have been on a low pub server, but don't tell anybody.
As
met
long as they can't
player.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Seems
we've
like
had
you.
one guy. And like, look, we're actually ending the live stream during a night, so that's good timing.
Okay. Do we want to have like a couple of other questions, or are we? Wanna cut it?
Yeah, a couple more.
Okay. Simple questions. Airplane. We had the Bumblebee airplane shown, the yellow propeller machine.
Mm-hmm.
Do we already have some details when that is coming to the game?
Honestly, probably no. Like I said, earlier in this stream, sometimes we've just teased too many things too early. So while we do have the 3D model ready for the game with textures and everything, we just don't. I don't think we even have like a work in progress of that feature in the game. And before we go for this, I think we definitely would still like to look at the implementation of helicopters, if anything. So yeah, I'm not really sure if we're gonna do it or when, or yeah, that's just I guess something for future.
Right. Let me see. We have a lot of repeated questions already. I prefer guys watch the VOD, and we will answer most of your questions already in the earlier parts. The VOD will be up right after the stream, and we will also upload it to our YouTube channel.
We will indeed. So yeah, one final answer, I guess, before we log off. Pack everything.
I really like the nighttime DayZ.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
And that's before it was updated in 102. So
There is a change in one.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the nighttime.
yeah, true.
Yeah, you can take it. You can talk about it.
So what we're, I think, how to best describe what we're actually changing about the nighttime. I don't think it's fair to say that it's a little bit brighter, because that's not what really happens.
No.
It's mostly if a player is trapped in the dark without a light source, that he has fair means to orientate himself. That's something we want to enable with the next update.
Yeah.
It still requires some balancing, but yeah, we want to make nighttime balanced for people who are trapped in the night or suddenly log in without a light source available.
Yeah.
I know some people on PC don't like it, but
Yeah, so
they're-
I think one of the most controversial things was kind of introduction of this kind of like increased light, like in a close proximity of the player. That's one of the things that I guess needs most balancing, but yeah.
on PC, you can remove it on your server in 1.3. 1.03.
Yeah, with the next PC update, yes.
Sorry, you said it already.
No, we didn't talk about nighttime yet.
So yeah, but if there's not any other cool question, I think we just wrap up for today.
All right. Yeah. So guys, that's all. I know you always have more questions, and we will get to those. You can always write us questions on our Twitter channel /DayZ. You can write us on Facebook. You can send us a mail at community@dayz.com. I know mails are outdated, but whatever. And yeah, we will also have another live stream at a different point in time.
Yes, I think whenever the next update is out, I think soon after this, I would love to do another live stream, play with some of you guys from the community, maybe even, so that we're not just the two of us here. And yep.
Again, watch our VOD if you missed some questions, if the questions there, and wait for our YouTube video to come out, and we will also answer your questions there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot, and see you in Generous.
Bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Eat a rotten piece of fruit. Drink this tasty looking bottle of juice. Forget zombies can run inside, and they can glitch through walls with their new AI. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Give a zombie a hug. Inject the wrong type of blood. Throw a chem light at your feet. Download a bunch of hacks and try to cheat. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Run into a bandit clan. Try to help that ill-looking man. Forget that people can lie. Shoot at Sacriel and you can wave goodbye. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Don't eat or drink for a day. Volunteer for a zombie buffet. Pull the pin and forget to throw. Hit the gas pumps and wait for them to explode. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Shoot your gun in town when there's loads of zombies. Broadcast your location on a walkie